What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Overdunk, the competitive Pokemon Unite podcast. My name is Zoinks, host of this show, and this is episode 24, the EU Aeos Cup primer episode. That's right, we're not just doing NA on this channel, I promise. I live here, but I am not a bias caster. I love my friends from the EU, so I got a couple of them along, as well as a very familiar face to everybody. So just in case anybody in chat doesn't know the three of you, anybody listening out in podcast land doesn't, let's just go through a really quick round of introductions. So say your name, who you are, and I don't know, favorite cereal. That sounds fun. Bruv, why don't you go first?
Hey, I guess I'm Bruv HD. I'm from England. As what else? My favorite cereal? I'm pretty boring. I'm honestly gonna say Rice Krispies. Absolutely. I don't know if that's a EU thing, but
I'm Canadian and we had them there, but that doesn't really mean that something when it's an EU thing. We get everything that EU has too.
So. I'm from Team Five Guys.
There we go.
I stream all the time. Stream the game every day, pretty much.
Perfect. Yeah, if you're following this channel, you're already following Bruv. So, Spragels, how about you go next?
Hi, I'm Spragels. I call myself a content cowboy. I say yeehaw. I make a lot of Unite content on YouTube. I also cast a ton of Unite, and I am the coach for Five Guys.
Oh, nice. Yes. Yeah. Now they owe you money too.
That, just in case anyone actually believes me, that's a lie. It's a joke lie.
It is what?
Oh no! I've been paying this guy for weeks.
It hasn't been announced yet. We'll figure it out.
Awesome.
Okay, good.
Nazu, why don't you round out our little series of introductions?
Well, I'm Nazu. I'm the tank for your burger flippers, and my favorite cereal is probably the normal cornflakes, these flakes, I guess.
Yes. EU with our very, it's a standard cereal picks. No sugar involved. I want a grain and I want it in a shape.
I'm sorry, I should have said a favorite cereal. I think it's also pretty basic, an American basic cereal. It's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I feel like it's a classic. Everyone in America loves Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That is a powerful cereal choice for sure. Mine is going to be Lucky Charms till the end of my days. I love those little marshmallow guys in there. But let's get back to the topic at hand. We are talking about Aeos Cup upcoming we're in the weekend. I guess only a week away at this point. Rapidly coming up. We're talking about the EU side of things. So a very, very exciting region. We've had two major actual Road to World tournaments so far. February and March. Spragels, you were casting both of those. I know EU is always a pleasure to cast and watch you guys bring out so many fun strategies. Bruv, you have been a mime player, one of the proud and few for quite some time now. Nazu on a team literally called the Burger Flippers. So we know that EU always brings a lot of fun, a lot of really good action. So I think that Aeos Cup is going to be no stranger to that sentiment. It's going to be a really, really awesome tournament. Bruv and Nazu, of course, you guys are both players heading into this tournament. This tournament, bigger cash prize, more championship points on the line, just a bigger tournament overall, new format, everything included. Does this feel like a bigger, exciting tournament that you're headed into? Does this feel like something new, or is this just yet another tournament on the way to the real big deal of Worlds at the end of the summer?
Yeah, I think it kind of does. It feels like it feels like the most important one, definitely so far, at least in terms of Worlds and just like any tournaments we've kind of played, at least for me, because I've seen like the NA side has had a couple more extra tournaments which we haven't had in the EU, but I've been looking forward to the Aeos Cup for a while. Just got to get used to the current, I guess, patch and whatever's happening next week.
Yes, yeah. Well, don't worry, it'll be gone a day before the tournament. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Nazu, how about you? Does this big new tournament feel big, exciting, or is this just another step up on Yerman Burger Flipper's reign of terror in EU?
It's true. It's like completely. It's a really new experience because it's all about probably. I mean, it's the first big money tournament and the first money overall in the officials, so it's gonna be probably more sweaty.
Yeah, absolutely. When you say sweaty, does that mean our teams scrimming like crazy, keeping their strats hidden behind Iron Curtain, all that kind of stuff?
Mm, I mean, teams are scrimming. We try to get more scrims in, but like with the patch right now, it's kinda like incidents. So not. I mean, the most practice is just like gone because of the new patch.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely thrown a lot up in the air. This week is feeling like a very strange void to be in while we're awaiting a fix that we hope will fix everything, or maybe we don't. I mean, some people actually like these changes, but before we get into the rest of that, Spragels, you have gotten, like I mentioned before, the chance to cast EU a couple of times now in these major tournaments. What's your favorite aspect that EU brings to the competitive scene of Unite? From what you've gotten to see, what's your favorite part of casting EU?
I think EU is a little more varied than NA. You know, NA, it feels like everyone goes, this is how you play the game. We're playing the game this way and it's going to work. And it's interesting because each region sort of has to deal with what everyone else is doing inside their region. So when we saw the most recent Japanese Aeos Cup, the team that won it really felt like they had to react very specifically to how Japan is playing the game, and they might play it, a totally different way or comp if they were in NA. EU feels like a really interesting region because the teams that make it to the top, obviously we've got two members of two of the top teams from EU here. Everyone has found different ways to play. It feels like EU is a little more fluid in that sense, and because of that, it's really exciting to see some of these teams go up against each other. The first series I got to cast for Unite was the February EU finals, and the games between Yerman and Random Gaming were unbelievable. It was such an exciting series, and people started, it feels like everyone was trying to start counter picking each other, which was really cool. And you got to see Yerman's comp go up against Random's, which was changing throughout the tournament. So I really love seeing EU because I think it's a lot more varied than what we get in NA, and I think that's really cool.
Absolutely. It definitely has brought so much variety. This patch, however, though, I think might be a slight concern for some of that. It may be hampering a little bit of the variety that we've seen so far. Score shield nerfs, changes. I don't know if it'll fully stop them, but let's talk about the patch then. Let's jump into it. That's like the biggest topic of the week right now. The patch rolled out a lot of really good changes. I think a very positive reaction to the patch overall. Greedent changes. We've been such a strong Pokemon. Nazu, you were a terror on ladder and in tournament on that character. I can see it even as your Discord profile pic, so maybe needed a little bit of tuning for sure, but got slight adjustments. We've seen across the board a lot of nice hero tunes, but the biggest thing has been the passive experience change, which we've now learned is a bug that, of course, the unfortunate news is that is being fixed. Great, but a day before the tournament, meaning that practice on this patch for this week is going to be kind of up in the air. Bruv, how do you feel about being a competitive player in this team setting? Is practice out the window this entire week, or is it just going to be, we'll practice how we always have, it's just going to reset back to the same game that we've been playing for months and months prior?
I think, in essence, with score comp gone, practice it will still kind of come. I think it will be, it's a bit useful, but obviously some of the stuff which doesn't evolve, doesn't have passive XP. So it gets XP anyway, but it's not the same being capped before levels. So if you play something that double evolution stuff, like most junglers and all that type of thing, apart from if you play Absol could be a lot better than you think it could be, or in the actual patch. So I think some stuff may be used that's more niche this week, and then may see just suddenly a specific Pokemon could be just completely I guess just gutted compared to in the new patch when it will come. But I think it feels like the game's very snowbally at the moment, which could it could change. I'm not entirely sure how much it will affect, because I don't know if catch-up experience is also capped because of this, but I do feel like, at least in essence, the game it's different. It's definitely different to last patch. I'm guessing it will stay similar to this than compared to last. So some of the comps I think will favor what people played back in the beginning of the game, maybe middle of season 2, I think, style things. But I think Hoop is still going to be in my opinion, I think Hooper's going to be one of the main things keeping the game a little more fresh.
Sure.
Compared to back then. But yeah.
Yeah, some interesting changes to that Pokemon, of course. Trick being nerfed. Still a good option, but maybe bringing it to parity with its whole option. So still having a little bit of variety. I've seen teams scrimming with Hoopa, really trying to find the new answer, because I've said it before, I think if you're not playing that Pokemon, you're not really playing to win. In a lot of team comps, that Unite move is just absolutely bonkers. It does so much. I don't know another game where you can press a button and your whole team just appears right wherever you are. But it is very strong and a very big proponent of this current metagame. Nazu, how about you? How about these feelings on this patch? EXP bug aside, once that gets tuned back, do you think this is a really good patch? And are you excited to keep playing the game moving forward with this new sort of metagame we're finding ourselves in?
I think I probably preferred the patch before.
Okay.
Because for one, Scorecomp was a thing back then. But even with Scorecomp gone, I think there's still a lot to do. Trevenant's finally got to be in the spotlight.
Tree's here.
Some Pokemon are struggling to find new held items, like weekly. Like, what should you put instead of score shields?
I have heard some assault vest rumors going around on that Pokemon, which, I mean, what else are you gonna play there if not score shields? So, yeah, I mean, it is an option.
I mean, some people have also have a niche item pick. It could be doing damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was like, wait, Bruv, was there any actual XP change?
Wait, what was it? Oh, well, it's catch-up experience. It doesn't, like, you get capped at evolutions, basically. So if you evolve, or, like, you get less catch-up experience, I think, or something. It's not working intentionally.
The level before you evolve, you get 0 passive experience.
Okay, so it's all a bug. Okay.
Yeah. It's been announced that it's a bug.
Yeah, and the fix is announced to be fixed the day before Aeos Cup really kicks off. Spragels, I know you have been streaming and trying out this new patch. Of course, grinding out some new mons. It's got to be some more new content on YouTube. That's fantastic. But how are you feeling about this patch and things like that?
Well, that's right, Zoinks. I'm always concerned with, how much new content I can put out there. So as soon as the patch is here, I'm ready to grind it. But no, I do love changes to the game. I think it's always really, really exciting to see what they do and how the best teams react to it. This is going to be one of the most interesting tournaments, not only because of the massive prize pool, but because, like you said, they have a patch for 1 week that they really have to figure out, which means the team that can crack the code to this, that can solve this patch the best, is going to have the best chance. However, 1 day before the tournament, something will change. I don't know what it is. We don't know what part of it they're going to change. They said for a long time, hey, we did a bug fix. We lowered damage on Machamp or something. They use the term bug fix all the time. So
that is true.
I don't know what part of the EXP bug is intentional, what part of it's not intentional. At first, I thought it was a really cool way to discourage Cinderace, Greninja, etc. from going to the central area and maybe making Pokemon like Zeraora and Absol more viable or something like that. The part of it that's the bug, I kind of wonder if they're going to split the difference a little bit, and all the professional teams are going to have to find out 1 day before this massive tournament how this XP change is really going to work. If it just goes back to what we previously had, then I guess every team right now is just going to try to find what Pokemon have kind of gone up in viability, what Pokemon have gone down. Obviously, as mentioned, Trevenant is insane right now. I can't imagine a team not running Trevenant. I've heard, some NA teams trying it in the top path, some people putting it in the bottom path. That Pokemon is just crazy right now. I've heard of teams trying Cram in the central area or jungle, but I'm wondering if that's only because Cram doesn't evolve. So there's just so many exciting things happening with it. And it's really going to be the team that I think can adapt to situations the best that you're going to see pull out a victory here. Because everyone is going in with very little time and not enough information. So it's really going to take a team figuring out this patch and then also maybe doing something that other teams are not prepared for. Because I think we're going to see a lot of Trev, a lot of probably Greninja and stuff like that. But I wonder if someone can actually crack this patch and find something that other teams haven't.
Absolutely. Esports are always, at the end of the day, a game that rapidly changes with patches, DLC, whatever you want to call it, new additions to the game. Esports often does come down to adapt or die in a lot of situations. Ideally, not a day, but it does happen in pretty much every game. So the best teams are going to be the ones that can adapt. And EU has been really well known for doing this to exceptional levels. Bruv, you've seen your region rapidly change, score comp go on the rise, all that kind of thing. However, score comp recently gutted by these score shield changes. Score shield saw a ton of nerfs, not to mention the score shield goes on top of any other barriers now, the first one to break. Bruv, is score comp gone? Does EU not have this as a weapon any longer?
I can't imagine it's coming back personally.
Yeah.
Like I have not faced any score comps on ladder playing, no scrim score comps. Like it feels like score shield itself is just kind of doomed. So like obviously buddy barrier was a huge part of it before, and that not stacking on top makes it just like you get rid of the score shield and you keep the buddy barrier potentially.
Sure.
But it definitely seems that you can still adapt to this. Like we've already seen some interesting comps people playing on ladder, like between like obviously random and known for their random comps and everything. They're playing some interesting things like obviously Zero is not like the most played thing that we've seen them like pull that out, like the Sylveon and all that type of stuff. Charizard's always a pick that they play, and we're used to like the standard picks more compared to like the NA side, because like a few of us used to play with NA teams back in the day. Like I played a fair few NA teams all the way till end of January, I think. So like I'm used to that style of play. So I kind of favor that side of like the control aspect rather than the I don't know, not chaos, but kind of
sure
style gameplay of EU. But it definitely feels like there's opportunity still with all that type of stuff.
Nazu, do you agree? Do you think the meta is still pretty open and there's a lot of room for creativity? Yervin Burger Flippers right up there with Random Gaming for coming up with wild strategies that no one would expect.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of potential in going into this patch. We just on the third day, like while talking, I've figured out maybe a new bot lane. Not sure.
Ooh.
I'm gonna try it later, maybe.
Okay, do we get a secret preview of this new Yerman bot lane?
I mean, you can spec it in ranked.
Okay. okay. Twitch.tv/Nazu, I get it. Fair enough. Okay, well, very cool. Well, good to see that variety is still going to be an iconic part of what makes EU EU. So I think that's very exciting. Let's, there's one more thing I want to talk about before we jump into these group predictions and all the things like that. EU for a long time, I would say ever since that, regional split happened, we had these teams kind of cement themselves in January right before the big first tournament. We've had a clear top 5 in EU. I don't know if that's changed, but we've had of course Five Guys, Yervin Burger Flippers, Random Gaming, PogChamp, and Unleashed. Now, Unleashed just barely making not making it to the top 4 in the last couple of tournaments. However, this top 5 has been pretty irrefutable for the last, half a year almost at this point. However, I have heard rumors. I have heard that other teams are getting potentially closer. Teams that are just kind of sitting around outside that top 5, hungry to make it in. How close do you guys think teams like Squeedo Gaming, Zephyr Red or White, DZ, and Five Eye are from outside of the top 5?
I think we play against them on ladder like a lot of the time, or like and some tournaments but occasionally like you I guess like if it's definitely the same as like if you slip up early game, like they can carry away with the game. Like I think Five Eye is the team which I think most of the time we like whenever we play them on ladder, it's like I think they're the team we've probably lost to most. I think out of them.
Interesting. Okay.
From what I remember at least.
Sure.
But I'm not gonna lie. I play the game every day. I forget which teams I lose to.
It's all a blur.
I lose to a lot of teams. I definitely say that. A few of them they've taken some tournaments as well from my team. Like five. I think I saw Squiddo Game take a tournament relatively recently. Maybe I'm not 100%, but like they definitely have a chance from what I can tell.
Absolutely.
But obviously new patch happening. Maybe it favors some of these teams more.
Okay.
I know some of the like a couple of the teams are favored like standard comps, which is probably affects like it means it could be good for them, unless maybe something hidden comes out that we don't know is completely broken. But
yeah.
I have heard potentially DZ isn't playing, so that could cause issues with the groups. But
it
could be rumors. I'm not 100%. So
I asked play of them. He said it was a talk, but it's all cleared up. They're gonna play.
Okay.
All right, DZ's back, baby. Group of Death A is real. Awesome. Well, they return. Why not? Let's jump into the groups now. So I'm going to bring it up on stream. You can see it, guys. I put it in the Discord chat, a little graphic thing I made for our groups that we can take a look at. So in case anyone who's listening to this doesn't know the tournament format for Aeos Cup, it is a change from the other two monthly finals. We're looking at a day of group stage games that are going to lead into bracket play the next day. Two teams out of the four groups will each make it on and then enter into a bracket. We don't actually know how the bracket itself is going to be seeded yet, so I have a hypothetical bracket made up that we'll get to eventually. But before we get to that, we gotta pick what teams are making it out of groups. And like I mentioned before, a group of death is definitely Group A. In NA and EU, it exists in both. We have PogChamp, the winners, of course, of our March finals, the score comp killers, some people would call them. I think it was me. DZ Unleashed, of course.
Quoting myself.
Quoting myself, of course. Unleashed, recently signed by Apprentice Gaming as well. It's just a really long name to put on the thing, so I didn't. And Random Cosmos, of course, rounding out this group. Nazu, if you were looking at Group A, everyone has called it this group of death, going to be some banger matches for sure. Who do you think are the two teams making it out of Group A? And now that we know DZ is still playing, it might be a bit harder of a choice.
To be fair, I think it's probably gonna be PogChamp then Unleashed.
Okay, gotcha. Out of those two, who do you think makes it out of the group as seed number one?
Regarding to last month, like the placings, I would actually say PogChamp.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I know Unleashed has been grinding a ton recently. I don't know if they're going to be able to overtake PogChamp in something like this, but your two picks are those two. Bruv, how about you? Group A, who are your two?
I would say the same, but I'm not. I think last month favored PogChamp pretty heavily because of how the
Duraludon and they played it.
Yeah, I think it suits their players very well. Like Lucario Duraludon combo on their team is pretty deadly. Like especially with their supports they have, and the tank supports. I think it fit really well for them.
Okay.
I don't know entirely this patch. Like we've played against them a fair bit. But like obviously it can change. I don't know how like the jungle XP is going to be changed a little bit, so maybe it will be heavy like favoring junglers and top laners again.
Okay.
So like they do have a strong they're known to have a strong jungle top duo.
Yeah.
With the team at least. But
so you and Yoshi
are a lot of different things. Yeah, like Unleashed have been testing a lot of new things recently.
Okay.
So like I don't know what they're bringing out really because they've been changing a lot of things up. So maybe they could overtake. I'm not sure. But I've seen I'm not too sure about what Random Cosmos plays. But I know DZ definitely bring out a lot of interesting jungle picks, like Eldegoss jungle I've seen.
Eldegoss jungle.
Hitting level 15 on Eldegoss jungle, it's something.
You make things happen. Absolutely.
He can land on you and one-shot you late game and it's gone. So
it happens.
It could be surprising.
Okay, all right. So your picks, though, are going to be PogChamp and Unleashed still?
I think PogChamp and Unleashed. I'm not sure which way. I guess I'd say PogChamp still first. But
okay.
I don't know. It could be close.
Gotcha. Spragels, any thoughts on this Group A? You've heard a little bit of a breakdown of each of these teams, maybe not Random Cosmos, but, you know, DZ brings out an Eldegoss jungle every now and then. But who are your 2 picks to make it out of Group A?
I think it would be crazy not to pick PogChamp and Unleashed. I mean, PogChamp just won. Unleashed is an incredible team. Yeah. However, I mean, when I heard about Eldegoss jungle, to me, well, part of me thinks this. Is this the team that's going to be able to experiment enough to do something exciting? So I'm going to say something crazy just for the sake of it. It's going to be PogChamp and DZ. And DZ's going to be the #1 coming out of Group A.
Okay, wow. All right, you're definitely going all in here. Fair enough.
Take that.
Okay, well, unfortunately, because of how this format of our picking works, I am going to be picking PogChamp and and Unleashed to make it out. However, I would probably swing into I think this is Unleashed tournament. I think they're back, baby. So I am personally going to be picking them first. However, I think the majority of us have PogChamp listed, so we'll put them as the #1 seed coming out, and we'll put Unleashed as the #2 for this group. So I think that is probably the standard picks.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I just cut you off. You're in the middle.
No, you're good.
I was just thinking they won. Weren't they undefeated? Last one that I recognize is a different patch. Didn't PogChamps go completely undefeated?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they did pretty good, yeah.
I mean, that is pretty good. I mean, I'm not saying that means that they're going to win, right? Because obviously, if you look at NA, Game and Gladiators went completely undefeated in February, and they didn't win March. So I just think, I mean, it does say a lot about PogChamp. But yeah,
absolutely.
Sorry, I right in the middle of you talking, guys. No, enough Zoinks. I've had enough.
No, please. I completely agree. That's a really good point to bring up. PogChamp had an insanely dominant run through EU. Really made that bracket kind of boring, unfortunately. But I don't see that happening back to back. At least not with group stage. I think there's going to be some exciting games early. We can talk about it in bracket, though. They might be able to bulldoze whatever they face. But it is going to be exciting. Like Bruv was saying, they got to play Duraldon, and EU didn't play that Pokemon very much, so I may be blaming some of the other teams. Okay, let's jump into Group B. Group B, Random Gaming, Squeedo Game, Zephyr White, and Recreativo Thunder, I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. Some really, really interesting teams in this one. Zephyr White, I have heard, has been potentially the better Zephyr team for some time, but that's kind of up in the air. I know that goes back and forth. Nazu, talk to me about Group B. Who are your 2 picks to come out of this group, and any insider thoughts on this Group B?
They're probably going to go with Random Gaming and Squiddo Game.
Yeah.
Could actually not really decide who's gonna be first seed.
Okay, gotcha.
Because Squiddo Game is one of the teams which is close to the top teams.
Absolutely, yeah.
We're gonna say Recreativo Thunder is like they play a lot of hybrid score comp. Like they play it's just a normal comp, but with score sheet in every one.
Interesting. Okay.
So, with that being nerfed, they gotta figure out something else for them. So I'm not seeing them right now.
Okay.
Put up a fight.
Gotcha. Bruv, are you feeling the same way? Do you think Random and Squeedo are just the clear winners out of Group B?
I would say like Random I think is usually just gonna take one.
Yeah.
But honestly, with the other 3 teams, like sometimes they've done some upsets. Like I think the bottom team I've seen in ladder is just their name's RTH. They've been playing a lot recently. Like they've definitely gone a lot better recently from what we played against them at least.
Cool.
I think
that's exciting.
Maybe from the last patch. I haven't played I think we played them a couple of times this patch, but like before they've definitely improved from before. So maybe it could come an upset, but
okay.
I'm not sure between Squiddo and Zephyr because sometimes like I'm not sure. I think I'll put Zephyr. Why not?
Okay, gotcha. So we got 1 vote for Squeedo, 1 vote for Zephyr as the #2 picks coming out.
Yeah.
Spragels, have any thoughts on Group B? I know you've definitely watched Random Gaming play, but the rest of these teams, any psychic thoughts of what team would make it out of this group?
Well, obviously, Random Gaming is incredible, and I think they're going to react to a patch like this very well. So I think they're definitely always a team to watch. The February finals winners and the runners up in March, if I'm remembering right. So just a super, super solid team. And then I just like the idea of having a Zephyr White and a Zephyr Red. Something about it, I don't know. The branding of it, I think, is incredible.
Yes.
So I have to say Zephyr White. I just have to.
Yeah, I do like Squeedo Gaming. I've seen them pulling up in some recent tournaments, doing quite well, but I've heard some good things about Zephyr White. I really, really have. So we're gonna put Zephyr White into our bracket. Why not? This is gonna be a very, very exciting tournament. So we're gonna have upsets already. So I think this is gonna be our first upset that we've predicted in a Group B. Let's jump down to Group C though. Nazu, this is your group. This is the one you were finding yourselves in, facing up against Five Eye, effort value 252. I love the nods to the mainline games, and then coin flippers. Top couple of flippers in this group. Nazu, how you feeling about your group? Do you think you're the clear winner, and who do you think is going to be your best competition in this group?
I'm gonna ego a bit and say we're probably gonna be going out at least with 2 wins.
Okay.
Like first seeds.
Yeah.
And the top contestant will be probably Five Eye, because they have been, in my opinion, also like one of the top better teams out there.
Okay. Yeah.
Like they always manage to take games off of the top teams.
Yeah, they were really exciting when I was watching them in the qualifier round. So, Bruv and Nazu, you guys weren't playing in this qualifier for Aeos because you had already hit top 4. You already qualified yourselves through, obviously. But I was casting a bunch of Unleashed games when I was casting through. And the Five Eye game versus Unleashed was incredibly close. Like, it was nail-biter level of game, and it was really, really exciting. So, Five Eye very much impressed me in that game. They are definitely going to be my vote for the second place seed coming out of this group. I think they are going to be some good competition for you, Nazu, and the Burger Flippers, but I think you'll be able to take it in the end. I trust your team's versatility, your creativity, so that's going to be my vote. Bruv, how about you?
I think I would say the same, like Yerman than Five Eye, honestly. Five Eye, yeah, definitely. They've been playing for a while as well. Like from what I know, they've been they've definitely been doing pretty well a fair amount of the time. Honestly, I don't think I've played the other 2 teams that much at all, so I don't really I can't really say too much about them, which is why I think I would just stay with Yerman first and then Five Eye second, really.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, effort value 252. I haven't seen very much coin flippers. I don't know. There's so many teams with flippers on their name. It's really tough for me to tell. Spragels, any more thoughts on Group C, or do you think it's a pretty clear Yerman and Five Eye coming out of this one?
If you've got Yerman who's already flipping, you have to also add Coin, who is barely flipping. Yerman and Coin, without question. I mean, it sounds like you guys know what you're talking about with Five Eye. Yerman, I think, is, of course, going to crush it. Sure. But, I mean, when you've got a team that's entire strategy is flipping that coin, I think there's a possibility with a wild patch that a coin flipping group could win. So I'm going Yerman and coin flipping.
All right, sounds good. Fortunately, 3-1, but that's okay. I'm glad that you were able to speak your piece in this section. I'm just
glad my vote got counted. That's all that matters.
Absolutely, it definitely did. Group D. Bruv, this is your home. You have Five Guys, Zephyr Red, Off Course, and Leftovers. Also, shout out for there being, I think, 3 teams called Leftovers. There's one in NA, one in EU, one in OCE, and they all have made top 6, not top 16 at NA at some certain point, but OCE and EU have made top 16, which I think is hilarious. But anyways, Five Guys, Zephyr Red, Off Course, Leftovers. Nazu, if you were looking at Group D, is Five Guys going 0-3 in this group? Are they washed now?
I mean, they're probably gonna be first.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe, but I would watch out for the Leftovers. Okay. They could cancel Potato for doing some things on guard jump.
Nazu is so bitter about Potato's guard jump today. It's bleeding into our predictions, but okay, got you. Five Guys gonna be your major pick. Who do you think is Five Guys' best competition? Is it Leftovers, Nazu?
I think it's Zephyr probably.
Okay.
Because I'm just not really impressed by Leftovers, the people that play there.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Bruv, are you picking yourself first seed out of this group?
I think I will.
All right, fair enough. Stay humble.
You gotta root for yourself, you know.
That's true. You gotta believe you can beat anybody, but who do you think is going to come closer to beating you than everybody else? Who's your second seed in Group D?
I think I'll say Zephyr as well.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I think. I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember which Zephyr it was that knocked us out once recently. But it was one of them, so I'm gonna guess that
it was one of them. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Spragels, who are you picking? Are you setting up this Zephyr white and red in bracket?
Without question, Zephyr red. I mean, of course. 5 guys, I think, they're just incredible. So I have a feeling they're going to dominate this group. And Zephyr is, I'll be honest, the only other team I know, especially after hearing that, Nazu is not impressed with Leftover. There's no way I could go with that. So, yeah, 5 guys in Zephyr Red for sure.
Fair enough. Okay, well, let's move right along. Let's jump into this wonderful hypothetical bracket I have just made up. So I will do this so you can see this. Oh, that's not what I want you to see. Well, you can see it, but there we go. Okay, so this is our hypothetical bracket that I have made. Here we go. So this is just randomly seeded, but is making sure that a first seed is playing a second seed. So we're going to do a winner's bracket prediction here quick, and then we'll pick one team who we think is good enough to have grinded all the way through losers and pick our grand final champion after. We're not going to do an entire losers bracket prediction run as well, just because time, and this is a hypothetical bracket. So who knows if this is even how it'll be seeded.
You've got 2... people who are going to be going up. I don't know how we're going to decide this, but okay.
It's fine. It'll work. Okay, so guys, PogChamp versus Zephyr Red is our first matchup, potentially, in this perfect world that I have created in this hypothetical bracket. Who do we think wins in a matchup between PogChamp and Zephyr Red? Does Zephyr Red have a shot of beating the March Finals champions?
I would still go for PogChamp personally. They're very consistent, consistent winners compared. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, very consistent team, top 4, both tournaments. Obviously, they have a win under their belt. I think it's a pretty clear PogChamp. Any love for Zephyr Red other than that, or are we just sending them down to losers?
I think there's a distinct possibility that PogChamp throws this first match on purpose to climb through the losers bracket. But you know what? If they don't do that, I think they're going to win.
All right. Fair enough. No, that's a good prediction. I'm glad we have it said. All right. Let's jump into Zephyr White. Are both Zephyr teams going down to losers bracket immediately? How good are the Yermans right now? Bruv, what's your opinion? Yerman Burger Flippers, they strong? Or can they fall to a team like Zephyr White?
I think the Germans will still win. Yeah, I think they'll find something interesting to play though. Yeah, I think they'll win.
Okay,
just got to see what it is,
I think they'll win, Zoinks, but in what reality do you think we're gonna sit here and say they're gonna lose?
I think Zephyr White owns Yermans 2-0, absolute diffed.
I'm just saying, I think Yermans is one of the best teams in Unite, but also, I don't know how we could possibly say otherwise in this moment.
Well, that's true.
You've created an unwinnable situation, Zoinks.
That is a good point. Nazu, do you think Yermans or Zephyr White? All right, we'll just move along to the next match. Random versus Unleashed. So this actually Unleashed, with a amazing history of having terrible bracket luck, have also got it in my hypothetical bracket, which I think is hilarious. But Random Gaming versus Unleashed, a banger game. If the broadcast doesn't cover this one, it'll be a travesty. Of course, this is actually how the bracket's going to turn up. Who do we think? Shelvin says it truly never ends in chat. Yes, that is unfortunate. Random Gaming versus Unleashed. Unleashed has been grinding, labbing out some new stuff, but they are playing against the most versatile, and I'll say it, random team in Unite who also can make it happen. Praise the heavens, Greedit has been nerfed slightly. Gatlu, any other player would say probably has been nerfed, but that guy's got a hero pool that goes back, to the ends of the earth. So, Random versus Unleashed, what are our picks? Any thoughts on how this game would play out?
gonna be to be fair, pretty interesting games because Unleashed surely has the chances to beat Random.
Absolutely.
They had enough months to finally maybe get behind the threats, kind of. We hope for it.
We hope. We can only hope, Nazu.
But I don't think, like, Gato and Archio, like, talking about screens actually not really be nerfed that much because you can just go, like, more damage items now.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
And do more stuff to enemies.
I've seen Art running Potion on Greedent recently, which is interesting. But hey, what a world. Okay. So are you still saying that Random is going to be your vote to take this matchup?
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Unleashed gotta do for something for it.
Sure, they gotta prove it to Nazu to really make it happen. Fair enough. Spragels, how about you? Random Gaming versus Unleashed.
I mean, Random Gaming, I have not gotten to see enough of Unleashed. I have seen some of it recently. They're great players, but I think Random Gaming is just a team you can't count out. They could lose, though, because they seem to love clawing their way through the losers bracket and doing very, very well.
Yes.
So that could be an interesting, in a way, an upset, but almost like the place that Random Gaming finds home is, down there in the losers bracket and then making it up to the grand finals that way. So for fun, I'll say Unleashed is going to win, but yeah, I think probably Random.
Okay, gotcha. So your vote is going to be Random. I'm going to throw my vote in next just to make it spicy then. I think, like I said, I guess it's Unleashed tournament. I think they can take it over Random. Like I said, they have been grinding. They have been, Zervis broke his flipping hand and he's back, right? And so I think that they are set. They've been through the absolute gauntlet. I think Unleashed will finally break the curse of terrible first round bracket matchups and win versus Random Gaming. Bruv, do you share my sentiments, or are you also voting Random to go through?
Well, I do. The thing is, this time, the same bracket here, like Random against Unleashed has happened, I don't know how many times.
Yes.
Every time, it always seems to be, every time this happens, the games are always close. But Random you never know, maybe Random's trying to test something. Maybe they'll intentionally lose this and try and go through just to
like
go to the lower bracket, just to knock that. To target specific teams in the lower bracket. They'll see who they're against and be like, okay, we got to get these teams out specifically, and then they'll try and face Unleashed again later. I think that's the plan.
Okay, gotcha.
They'll test the strats there. Yeah, they want to play more games just to get more practice in.
Is your vote also Unleashed then?
I'll go for Unleashed this time.
Oh heck yeah! Okay. Well then, that means we have to resort to the almighty coin. So I will be flipping a coin.
Wait, didn't we have 3 votes for Unleashed?
Wait.
Yeah,
Yep, coin, you stay away for now. We are
still flip the coin. Flip the coin. All right.
Coin was Unleashed. Nice, let's go. Okay.
Yes!
Unleashed make it into the second round. They broke the curse. Let's go. All right.
You got to look at Random here. Random feels like they are able to win when the pressure is on. Maybe they do this to themselves. When they're winning, they're like, who cares? Put us in the losers bracket. Make it hard. Make it interesting.
Sure.
That's when Random Gaming really thrives.
Yes, definitely. They you said they like to be in the losers bracket. At first I doubted you. I don't know, but you know what? There's some freaks on that team. So
when
maybe they do like
their backs are against the wall. This is when they strike. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. They create their own training arcs. By losing a game. So, all right, our final matchup of round 1 in our bracket here is Five Guys versus 5i. I just pity the person who has to cast that game. That sounds terrible. I casted you guys versus Los Five Amigos one time.
Oh, yeah.
And I wept openly on broadcast. It was terrible. Five Guys versus 5i. Bruv, I know you're big. Nazu and Spragels, do you guys think that 5i could take down Five Guys, or is this a clear Five Guys win?
Once again, Zoinks, you've put us in a situation where there's no other answer, I do think Five Guys would win. But what reality would I say otherwise?
We're gonna get some better matchups in the next round, though, and you might have to, put the pressure to it. So we'll see. But Nazu, any chance that 5i takes down Five Guys?
There's chances, but probably Five Guys winning it.
All right.
If like they're not throwing it, or potato.
Or potato, yeah. Okay. Your mortal enemy of potato uwu doesn't ruin it for Five Guys. Fair enough. Okay. Well, now we head into the spicy, the winner's side top 4. PogChamp versus Yermans. Okay, let's talk about this matchup. Nazu, have you played PogChamp quite a bit now?
Yeah, from time to times.
Okay, got you. How comfortable are you in a game going up against PogChamp?
Pick green, you win.
Okay, got it. Pick greed it, boom, they're mental, and you win.
Yeah, that's basically, it's just invade Yoshi, he's gonna mental boom, then there's gonna be Sareyu mental booming because of that.
Yes.
And then there's gonna be the bot lane.
An emotional team the French squad is, but greed can ruin a lot of their plans. Okay, Bruv, do you think that Yermans have what it takes to beat PogChamp, or do you think the March finals winners are going to be able to overtake the Burger Flippers?
Honestly, I'm not too sure, just because I'm not sure how the patch will end up. But
yeah.
I like the Yermans they always do pull something out usually for a tournament that people don't really know they're going to play.
Okay.
So I'd expect them to definitely win a game off of, just surprising PogChamp at least. And then it may be. I think I would go for Yermans.
Okay.
I think it will be close though.
Interesting. Okay, I would be going. My vote is definitely in PogChamp. We talked about their top lane duo of Yoshi and Sareyu. I really think they're like best in region, potentially. I'll go as far to say in that duo. I think that they could leverage that enough to try to deal with Nazu's greed shenanigans. So my vote to win this in this round, maybe not in grand finals, Yermans, you might have another chance, but my vote would be to push PogChamp through here. Spragels, are you just going to keep making friends, or are you going to pick PogChamp?
I'm just gonna keep making friends. This is insane. You're gonna bring someone on a podcast and tell them they're gonna lose?
I just did.
You're out of your mind. I actually love watching Yermans. I think they're great. I don't know how PogChamp is gonna react to this patch. I think this is this could be a wild patch, and in that sense, I would tip. I would go towards Yermans if things are a little wild and there's not a lot of time to figure it out. But also, there's what world? I mean, how are you gonna bring someone on and say they're gonna lose? You're crazy.
I already have, but it's in winner's bracket. They get more chances. That's fine. All right, fine. I'm outvoted. Yermans moved through, but just know in my heart of hearts, PogChamp definitely moved on to this next matchup. Unleashed versus Five Guys. I know Spragels vote. That's fine. However, Nazu, let's jump to you. Unleashed versus Five Guys. We've already pushed them Unleashed through in a upset win, if you want to call it that, against Random Gaming. Do you think they have what it takes to do it twice in a row?
We will see how this week will work out.
Sure.
But I think normally Five Guys should be winning it.
Okay, gotcha. Bruv, I assume you're giving your team the vote of confidence to move past?
Yeah, I think let's say yes.
All right, fair enough. And guys, my reign of terror by telling you guys that your teams are bad is over. I am putting Five Guys through on this one as well. I personally just think that you guys have had a really good read on the meta, but also have had good angles of creativity and counterplay to it. I'm not counting Unleashed out in the entire tournament, but I do think that in a matchup between Five Guys and Unleashed, I think it's going to favor the Five Guys. All right, let's jump into it. Now we are on an even, unbiased forum. Yermans, Five Guys. Somehow those are the two teams that made it to the end of bracket. Interesting. Anyway, even though neither one of them has won a monthly finals, there's some shenanigans going on for sure.
This is what happened in the February finals, I believe. This is
this winter side. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this is what happened. But then neither of us won, so something happened. Something happened.
Big un for it, absolutely. But okay, the run back then. We have a repeat of that final situation: Yermans versus Five Guys. Before we jump to the players of these teams, Spragels, first opinions. Who do you think wins between the Yerman Burger Flippers and the Five Guys?
I have a storyline in my head,
Okay.
and unfortunately, that is not a good storyline currently for Five Guys. So that means that Yerman is going to win this, and they are going to make their way to the grand finals to go up against, once again, Random Gaming, who has made their way through the losers bracket. That is what's in my head. But I also want to say, no one has ever put together a bracket with people in the bracket having to vote against each other. It's insane. All right.
Hey, listen, Egg Noob said that his team didn't have the best chance one time and he got outvoted, okay? It worked at NA. It's fine. But okay, Yermans versus Five Guys, your vote is to go towards Yermans. Spragels, any specific reason that you think that that team is going to be able to take it?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, Yermans has done so well with a score comp, and I'm excited to see what they're going to play in this tournament. That's one of the things I guess I'm most excited for. I'm also, excited to see how every team is going to react. But I really want to see how they react to this, and I think they were playing the strategy that they thought was the best. And now they're going to be playing a new strategy that they think is the best. And I want to see what that is. So I'm probably most excited to see what they pull out in this tournament.
Sounds good. A lot of faith in the Yermans. I like to hear it. Bruv, where's your counter argument?
Score comp is kind of seemingly gone.
True.
So I think if the meta does stay towards I guess more like I guess just to say like standard comps. We pretty much mainly play standard, so it hopefully falls to our side at least. But honestly, not too sure.
Gotcha. Nazu, if you were in a matchup against Five Guys, what do you need to do to take down this team?
I mean, I'm just gonna preach that Marv is capping top lane.
True.
Which should not be too hard.
Again, Potato just gets thrown under the bus.
but then again, I mean, if you've never lost the bot into Bruv HD, so that's also that.
Interesting. All right, got it.
Everything should be working out.
Cool. Okay, well, the votes are in. I tend towards Five Guys, but for the sake of this, Spragels is right. This is a wild idea to bring actual players into this bracket choices, but I think Yermans are gonna find themselves in the grand finals yet again. But please prove me wrong. I want Five Guys to.
Well, wait, isn't it even? Shouldn't you flip the coin live?
You're right. We should flip the... Oh, no. Okay, hold on.
You gotta flip it live.
Okay, all right. I gotta flip it live. Let's get the Yermans out of here for a sec. Okay. How do I bring this back?
Time to flip this coin live.
Okay. Yes, I'm going to do this for a sec so I can do this. And then wow, so many buttons I have to click. Okay. Now I have to.
You didn't have a plan to flip this.
I know. It was so ridiculous because then I have to add like a browser search. Okay, I don't have a coin to flip. However, I do have a dice to roll. So I'm going to roll a dice. If it is an even-sided number, then the Yermans win. If it is an odd-sided number, then Five Guys find themselves in the grand finals.
I've rolled on 5.
And how many sided dice is that? Do you have an 8? Do you have a 20?
This is a 12-sided dice.
Okay, got a D12. Okay. So swinging a battle axe or something.
Yes, absolutely. I have rolled a 6. The even-sided number has 1. Yerman Burger Flippers find themselves in the grand final. So shout out to them for that. Okay. So, Yermans find themselves in grand finals. We've already set this up earlier, Spragels. You talked about this this bracket run itself. I think just set our grand finals. Yermans versus Random Gaming is going to be our grands. guys, opinions on who wins this one. Nazu, you can definitely beat them. Your pick is for Yermans. Bruv, do you think that the Yerman Burger Flippers can take down Random Gaming and get their revenge?
Well, hold on. Before he answers that, this is what I pitched. But wouldn't Bruv want it to be that Bruv won and goes back up against Yermans in the grand finals?
No, the hypothetical bracket.
I can live on this timeline. I can go to this timeline. It's like, we got third before, it can happen again.
The coin flip was lost. So that means Five Guys is out of the tournament, actually. Those were the rules.
We don't even get okay.
Yeah, it's a rough one. Okay, Bruv, Yermans are random. Who do you think takes this one?
I think it's last time. It went to the second best of 3, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their bracket reset.
But from what I do remember, I feel like the Yermans kind of decided to just give up and just flip it anyway in some of the games.
That is what happened.
If they focus a little bit more, maybe they don't have to go to the second series and win the first one. But
okay.
Let's go with the Yermans. Why not?
All right, fair enough.
They can have a win. They can have a win this time.
Redemption arc.
The redemption arc. I'm voting. Oh man, this is tough. Spragels, do you pick Yerman Burger Flippers or Random Gaming to take this one?
I'm just once again going to tip my cap to you, my friend, for bringing someone on a podcast, telling them they're going to lose, and telling them they're going to lose. In
Second place in the biggest tournament is a good placing. It's not that bad.
Pretty wild to say, but I mean, once again, I'm impressed more than anything. What I think, look, in my head, what I would want is it to go down to the wire once again. And Yermans to be the one who changes their strategy in bracket 2 or in the reset of the grand finals, and then have Yermans win. That way we have sort of this Yermans Random Gaming storyline, and if then both of them made it to Worlds, it would just be insane. But also, how are you making me say this in front of Bruv, who I think is an amazing player on an amazing team? You're a sick man. You're like the guy from Saw. You're crazy.
Spraggles, not everyone can win. These decisions have to be made. Okay, but your vote is for Yermans to take it?
Yes.
All right.
In the second bracket, and they have to change a Pokemon. They have to add a wild choice to their team. That's the only way they can
win.
Win.
Got you. Random game, or Yermans have to bring out the dark tech that they have been blabbing all week. All right. Fine. Fair enough. For storyline's sake, let's do it. Yermans get their revenge, and they take down Random Gaming. Yermans are hypothetical bracket winners. Congratulations, you guys. Fantastic. Great work, Nazu. Congrats on the big win. All right, guys, we'll bring up our faces for that. We're almost at the end of the show. I promise. We're just gonna do a quick little rapid fire here at the end. I want this was our bracket. Obviously, the seeding was random, but I want your hypothetical pick to win this entire tournament. I mean, you guys are obviously gonna choose your own, so we'll skip past that question. Actually, who is your dark horse for this tournament to make a big run and get deep in the tournament? Maybe not beating your team, but who's your biggest dark horse team that you think can make waves in this tournament? Spraggles, let's start with you.
Well, they haven't placed yet, right? So I'm going to say Unleashed would be a dark horse.
Yeah, I think it's a good one.
They're obviously, a very loved team. Everyone recognizes that they're very, very good. They just have not been able to get it done on the world stage yet, and this could be their chance.
Gotcha. Bruv, how about you? Dark horse team?
Well, I would have said Unleashed, but let's go for 5i. I'll say 5i this time.
I like that one.
They've done well in the fair few tournaments. I'll give them this one.
Okay, gotcha. A little bit of 5i love. How about you, Nazu?
Well, since Unleashed and 5i is been taken, I'm gonna go with Squidder Game.
Okay, got you. Shout out to Sweeto Gaming. Well, then how about I round out the EU up-and-comers? I'm going to give my dark horse to DZ. Yeah, I want the Jungle Eldegoss to make it happen. That'll be so exciting. Awesome. Then, final question. Bruv, if Five Guys wins this entire tournament, which I'm sure they will, you guys are going to own. If you win the entire tournament, who's the MVP on your team?
It depends, because if we win, I feel like Potato must have done something crazy to win. Maybe I feel like it's gonna be. You never know, honestly.
Sure. All right. Well, I heard Potato, so that's gonna be that's gonna be the count for it.
Let's say he 1v5s. He 1v5s one game.
Love
in
it.
The finals. That's happening.
And who even knows what Pokemon it's on? Nazu, about if Yermans win this entire tournament, who are you giving the MVP award on your team to?
Mm, I can't really be sure since I don't even know which comp we'll be running. So it's probably gonna be.
Sounds like it's Nazu. Sounds like Nazu is the vote for the MVP. Very, very good.
I can't do this. I can't do this. Otherwise, Blaine is gonna be a match at me. So I'm just gonna say it's Blaine.
Okay. Blaine gets the vote. Fair enough. Spragels, who is your pick to win this entire tournament? If we're not looking at a hypothetical bracket, who do you think looks the strongest in EU right now? And who is your MVP of that team?
I am gonna say it's gonna be Yerman and it's gonna be Nazu. But I think the real thing that I've learned here is that if we crashed in a remote location, you would be the first person to suggest that we start eating each other. That's what I've learned throughout this whole experience.
Oh, yes, I guess that's true. I mean, as the host, I'm not allowed to pander. As the guest, you are. So, fair enough.
I'm not pandering, but it's crazy. You're insane. You're a madman.
That is true. Chaos ensues on episode 24 of Overdunk. It's absolutely where we're at. But guys, thank you so much for joining me on this predictions episode. I know it got a little wild. I know maybe next time I'll try not to get players on, but who knows? Thank you so much for joining. I want to give everybody a quick chance just to, take the stage for a second, plug everything, sell out, shout out, whatever you want to do. Bruv, where can people find you on the internet?
Just BruvHD, Twitch, links through there to like Twitter, coaching Metafy, by the way, just
shout out.
Just in case, but yeah. That's pretty much it.
Fantastic. Get paid, good sir. Okay, how about you, Spraggles?
You can find me on YouTube, on Twitch, Spragels. I do a lot of things there over on Twitter. And I want to say I am just having fun with these Zoinks. I think this is a very fun but I also do think that you would be a cannibal first.
It sounds like it, which is wild because I've never considered myself a competitive person. But I guess when it comes to a podcast, that all changes.
You're cold. You're cold enough to go, no, we don't have food. We have to eat Bruv.
Absolutely. Some decisions have to be made. And I think I can run just a little faster than Bruv, so we had to make these decisions.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah, Bruv's actually, I think he runs a lot actually, so maybe not. Nazu, plug everything you need to. Where can people find you? Where can people watch you?
Twitch TV Nazu. Not streaming often, but I will be streaming, I guess. To the Nazu Unite, but to be fair, I want to shout out to Mali once again for making all the panels, pictures, team logos, and team banner for us now.
Oh, yeah.
He's been a huge help to us.
If you guys haven't seen that yet, by the way, Damani made the picture for German bird flippers. I don't know. I want to call it a cover photo, a banner for your team. It is so incredibly good. Go on Twitter, go to Damani's Twitter page and look at that picture. It is phenomenal. So yeah, good shout out there, Nazu. It is sick, but awesome. Guys, just a quick Unite Mics plugs. And of course, all these episodes are published on youtube.com/Unite Mics. If you're here on Twitch, you can just click that follow button, of course. We are on all podcast platforms, so Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. Overdunk can be found there. Always helps if you just toss us a 5-star review. Helps other people find the show. And then last thing, of course, my co-caster, Dupe Snacks, also on this channel, has a podcast called Late Night Unite, which, Spraggles, you have been on, and I'm sure, Bruv and Nazu, you are in the running to be put up on that one-on-one interview show, of course. Also on the YouTube as well. All episodes are there. But these guys have been EU's finest, plus the content cowboy. I have been Zoinks. This has been Overdunk. Have an awesome rest of your week. Good luck to all the competitors in Aeos Cup, EU and NA, South America, all that stuff. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.